Hello everybody, back here again for vlog a day, and today is Tuesday the 9th, and today was a gorgeous day outside weather-wise. Started off nice and cool, a little bit windy here and there, but overall just a gorgeous day. So got up this morning, again way too stupid early to watch this puppy. It is what it is, just not used to getting up that early. So got up, got him and the other two dogs out, Bruce and the other one watching, got them outside, let them play around a little bit, got them kind of wore out, just kind of let them get those new meeting again energy out of themselves so I can get back in, and then have them keep quiet until my wife gets up. So it's one of those things where it is what it is. And then we hung out there a little bit. Finally, she got up, started making some noise, so we was able to actually go about our day without having to be quite so quiet. So it's one of those fun things that happens there. So went ahead, got a few things done today. Nothing really major, just simple little stuff, kind of hanging around the house, playing outside with the dogs and stuff, hanging outside, just enjoying this weather. It's absolutely insanely beautiful. Talked to my wife in different times here and there. Stock market was finally turning back around a little bit. So it was one of those things where I was like, I gave them back all my gains basically, but they came back not all the way to the top, but they've came back quite a bit. So I was pretty excited about the moves I'd made. While it was super low, I bought another $5,000 worth of stocks as I'm giving away all my gains. Luckily, I dipped a little bit below what I put in there at one time, but it's now climbing back up again, and I'm feeling good about my choices in there. So it's kind of treating this little Webull app for the stocks basically like a video game, because I don't plan on pulling that money out anytime soon. So it's one of those things, it's kind of just a score on like a video game is all it really is to me. So because I'm kind of pretending that money doesn't exist, so just watching it, grow and fall and grow and fall. And one of those things, if I drop down, say when I put in like 15 grand or 17 grand or stuff, and it drops down to 10, I was going to be a lot more scared, but I still wouldn't have sold it. It would have sucked a lot more. So I'm now back up into that $26,000 range, I think like that $25,000 range, and I've put in like 22. So pretty excited about the process and how it's going. So definitely a little bit of stress, but spent a lot of time on it today, moving a couple things around here and there and whatnot in the process. So went ahead, ended up getting another dog request. They wanted a daycare watch for a handful of hours, about 5-6 hours, so they could go for a long bike ride. And I said, absolutely, I can do that. Tell them not always can I do it last minute like this, but if it's available, feel free to ask. If it's available, I will, and if it isn't, I have no problem saying, nope, sorry, I can't do it today. So definitely don't have to feel bad about, making me, cancel other plans or something if I'm unable to watch the dog at the moment. So they dropped the dog off. They actually were able to walk over. They're about a mile from my house. They walked over, dropped the dog off, let the dogs play a little bit, got to see the dog was getting along, everything was fitting just fine. So they took off on their bike ride, and they got back early. It was funny because I told them, I said, I'm out back with the dogs most of the day, so I don't hear the doorbell, so you have to text me when you get here and stuff. And they texted and said that her bike had broke, so she had to come back early and pick the dog up, which worked fine. It was no big deal. So I gave the dog back about an hour or so earlier than what it normally would have been. But she rode all the way back from like the intercoastal all the way over here with the brake on, because the brake was hung up on her bike, and it's hydraulics. You can't just unhook the cable or nothing. It's really kind of a pain in the butt. So she got a much better workout than what she planned on today, I think, in the process. We had a good laugh about that. Everything was good there. Went ahead and went for a run, took the puppy for my run. He did pretty good. We actually was able to get him to run. He ran the almost the full, like we were trying to get him up to a mile. He only had to stop once during the mile and take a little bit of a break. But other than that, he did really good, surprisingly well. He's getting much better than the few times I've had him out in the running. He's learning what running is, and it's not just chase squirrels and sniff stuff. It's actually we need to run to get to the next point. So had a couple of times there was a truck went by and stuff, and he chased out of the truck, so they'll pick up the pace and run a little faster as he chased down the sidewalk towards the vehicles and stuff. And if you find a bike ahead of you, a lot of times you can kind of let the bike go by and then kind of have him try and catch back up to them. If I see people down there with a dog, I'll be like, hey, let's go play the puppy, and we'll take off and try and catch them. Then they're walking, so it gives us a better chance to run a little bit faster in the process. But went really well. The owner came back, picked him up, everything went great there. We chatted a little bit and stuff, had a good time with it. And then I'd thrown a pork shoulder in the slow cooker early on the day, so I let that cook through. Ended up putting in some root beer. I think I put a root beer in there, a little extra flavoring, and then also put in some my cheap junk ass vodka, which will help soften the meat and tenderize it and stuff. So I put some of my vodka that I bought, like the swill, like it's gross, you can't even drink it, it's disgusting, but I bought it to clean my cigar pipes, and it didn't work that great for that. And I finally found alcohol again, 91% alcohol that I use for my pipes. So I still have this vodka that I don't do anything with, so I could probably make vodka jello shots or something out of it, but I'm not really that big of a drinker anyway, so it's not a big deal for me either way. So Went ahead, my wife got home from work. We chatted a little while and stuff. Went ahead and made up some potatoes to have with our pork, and turned out good. She wasn't that big a fan of the pork. I thought the pork was really good. I thought it was fine. She was not impressed with it, I guess. I think partly is we had a really bad. We got steaks also we had yesterday, and they were gross. Like, they were super tough and lots of gristle, and just, it was just awful. So I think she had a little bit of that bad image in her head left over from buying crappy meat at the same time. So she kind of led this one into it also, but who knows? We'll see what happens. I also threw some diced up apples in there to kind of add a little flavor, because I like the apple flavor in my pork. So it went all right. It did fine. Just wasn't quite as, good as we'd hoped. I also, then once I pulled the pork out, I threw those steaks back in there to let them run for another 4 hours in that hot water and all the broth and stuff that was already in there, to see if I couldn't tenderize it out. So I'll try it, tomorrow or the next day for lunch or something, to see if I made that meat edible. And if not, I will just throw it away, because life is way too short to eat disgusting, tough, gristly meat. It's just not worth it. So, but we hung around a little bit, watched some Netflix and stuff, and then played a bunch more pinball like we do. We seem to play pinball at least 5-6 nights a week. We're playing pinball usually 5 nights a week or so, but sometimes every day. It just depends on what it is. So we can tell we're not going out and doing anything, because the whole world's still shut down here a little bit. So went ahead, everything went good. We basically came out on the patio, watched a little more Prime and Hulu and stuff, had myself a wonderful cigar in the evening as we settled down for the night, and wrapped it up and called it a day. So that's all I got for right now. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.